goodness. And look who we have stopping by. It is Kentucky guard Rob Dillingham. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your schedule to be here with us on NBA Today.
For sure. Thank you, Malika.
I am so excited. I am doing really well. I love to do these interviews because I don't want to waste any time. You're here today to share some really special news with us, so the floor is yours.
With the help of my team, my longtime manager, Rico Greer, I decided to sign with Clutch and enter my name in the 2024 NBA Draft.
Wow, congratulations entering your name into the 2024 NBA Draft. It's such an exciting time, as you mentioned, signing with Clutch. I know you're already getting underway with all of your workouts. So let's talk a little bit about the NBA Draft, because we just saw a couple of your highlights, a couple of moves that we could see in the NBA as well. But last year, I feel like there was a consensus #1 pick in Victor Wembanyama. And this year at the top, it's sort of wide open. So make your case. What are teams getting when they draft you?
I feel like teams are just getting a overall complete person and like a good player who can uplift others. Because like I feel like at Kentucky, coaches taught me it's not about me and it's about winning and helping your teammates learn each other. So really just an all-around player, and whatever the coach needs me to do, I feel like I can do.
And that's such an important thing, especially as a young player coming into the NBA. There's always an adjustment period. We've seen it time and time again. But let's talk a little bit about the San Antonio Spurs, because they're going to get a high draft pick. We don't know what it is exactly yet. What do you think, watching someone like Victor Wembanyama play, what would it like to be playing alongside him?
I mean, it would be amazing because there's nothing he can't do. So playing with him, it's like if he has the ball in his hands, two people got to guard him. So really playing with the whole team and learning from Popovich, the whole team, and playing with Wemby, I feel like it would be an amazing opportunity for sure.
I know that you are at this point just looking at whatever opportunity comes. I know you're going to be ready for it, but I am curious if players, young players, college players, as you were looking at someone like Victor, if you were paying attention like the NBA world was.
Right. Yeah, I was definitely paying attention.
Yeah.
At first, they were trying to say it was hard for him, and then he started the season playing amazing, shooting over 40 from the three. He literally can do everything at 40 and 20, so I think he's amazing for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about you. I know you are a scorer. You came off the bench largely for Kentucky, but what do you think? Who do you model your game after?
I really take after all of my favorite players.
Yeah.
My favorite point guard back then was Steve Nash. I used to watch Steve Nash, but also nowadays Kyrie Irving, Darius Garland, Tony Parker, a lot of players for sure. So I just try to be the best I can be.
Something that I love as we kind of approach every June is that this is the time of year that we get to see players' dreams come true. And it never gets old for me sitting in that seat watching it over and over again. Have you thought about maybe who you want to share that moment with, how you want to spend your first NBA check, who's going to be in the green room with you?
Definitely my mom, my brother, my dad, sister, Rico for sure. So I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to help my mom for sure, my sister, her kids. So
that's really wonderful. It's a whole family affair, and that's really what this is all about. Congratulations again, Rob, declaring for the 2024 NBA Draft. Good luck this year.
Thank you so much.
News out of college basketball. Coach John Calipari has officially said goodbye to the Kentucky Wildcats. In a video he released on social media, Coach Cal said it's time for the university and the fans to hear a new voice after 15 seasons as the head coach in Lexington. Late on Sunday night, our Matt Norlander reported that Calipari is nearing a deal to become the next head coach at Arkansas. Now, Coach Cal did not mention the Razorbacks in his video, only saying that there have been some opportunities presented to him. Here's a portion of what he had to say in that announcement.
This is a dream job. It was my dream job. Anybody in our profession looks at the University of Kentucky in basketball and said, that is the bluest of blue. The last few weeks, we've come to realize that this program probably needs to hear another voice, that the university as a whole has to have another voice giving guidance about this program that they hear. And the fans need to hear another voice. We've loved it here, but we think it's time for us to step away and step away completely from the program.
There you hear it there from Coach himself. Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart also weighing in on what will be the end of an era in Lexington. He said this on X, quote, "We're appreciative of John Calipari leading our program for the last 15 years, adding to the legacy of championship success at Kentucky. We're grateful to John for his many contributions to the university and our state, both on and off the court." Now let's welcome in CBS Sports college basketball analyst Mike O'Donnell to the show. Mike, this obviously came to surprise on Sunday when the news first came out, but now we're hearing directly from Coach Cal himself. When you listen to that full 3-minute video, we didn't have a chance to play it, but obviously just hearing how passionate he was. He said this was a dream job for him at Kentucky, but now it's time to move on. What do you make of that statement from Coach Cal?
Classy statement. Could have not made that statement. Could have just, you have the meeting with Kentucky Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart and say, hey, thanks, we'll see you later. I've got to step away and kind of recharge myself. It doesn't feel like we're going to be able to grow at Kentucky. He could have just done that internally and then maybe done a press conference, but I watched it twice. I think it was a pretty classy thing to do. He's very thankful, extremely appreciative. Obviously, you list out some of the accomplishments, and it wasn't as if it was kind of like, hey, thanks but no thanks, or I can't believe you guys are pushing me out. It didn't feel like he had a massive amount of animosity towards Kentucky or the fan base in that video. Don't know Coach Cal like that. Who knows? But I thought it was a classy statement, and certainly I think that's a divorce from a reality that's been very productive for Coach Cal, the Kentucky players, and the Kentucky fan base in the last 15 years. You just felt like you needed a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, you mentioned the divorce. I think that's a perfect way to put it. In terms of Coach Cal's resume at Kentucky, I mean, it's extensive. He had that national championship in 2012. He's a Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, 6 Final Four appearances, 15 conference championships. I mean, the numbers and the stats and the resume it keeps going and going. But the problem, Mike, is that it's been a while since they've won a national championship. And we talked about this earlier. Kentucky's a program who is expected to win championships. The fans, of course, were mixed, I think, in terms of if they wanted him to stay or him to go. In your opinion, is this a coach that can still win championships at another program?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the best college basketball recruiter in the last 15 to 20 years. He is going to get players at Arkansas. They are going to win at Arkansas. And he's going to be able to build a roster with basically an NIL bucket of money from Tyson Foods and Walmart. Two of the biggest donors and supporters of Arkansas basketball are the owners of Tyson Foods and Walmart. He's going to have a significant bank of cash to go get players. That's the NIL world. He's going to recruit freshmen. We don't know which players that he's talked to in high school already say, hey, are you ready to come to Arkansas? Because their loyalty to Coach Cal from AAU coaches, high school coaches. I mean, everybody knows if you play for Coach Cal, you're going to have the opportunity to play in the NBA. If Antonio Reeves, Rob Dillingham, and Reed Sheppard, if they all get drafted, which we all assume that those 3 players are going to get drafted, he'll have 50 players in the NBA over those 15 years. How impressive is that?
I know. He could build like the NBA teams with who he's had come through his program. It's just been fantastic. I mentioned the fans earlier because he's been linked to Arkansas. Matt Norlander, of course, sharing that news with us earlier in the week. He made no announcement of that, just that there's been some opportunities that have been presented to him. But how should fans be feeling with this change? Because as I mentioned, there were some who, when the season ended,